October 14, 2017, Dallas, Texas. A man stumbles into the ER, pale and shaking. His skin is clammy. His heart is racing. He mumbles one word before collapsing: wife. Doctors scramble. Poison. Paralysis. A ticking clock. He should be dead. But he isn't. Why did his wife smile when the police arrived? Why did her last husband never make it out alive? And why? Was there a $500,000 life insurance policy just signed 2 weeks before? This isn't fiction. It's a real story. A man who lived with the killer. Slept beside her. Trusted her. Until she struck. What he uncovered next shocked the nation. Subscribe to an unbelievable true story. Because the next twist will chill your bones. October 14, 2017, 3:02 a.m., Dallas, Texas. The emergency room doors swung open with a loud bang. A man, drenched in sweat, staggered in, gripping his chest. His name was Daniel Reyes. 42. Accountant. Quiet. Faithful. Married. He fell to the floor before anyone could catch him. One word escaped his lips. Wife. Doctors raced. Machines screamed. His heart was beating, but barely. Toxicology results came back fast. Antifreeze. In his system. Enough to kill. But he hadn't touched a car in days. And when the police called his wife, Carla Reyes, she answered calmly. Even laughed once. 3 years earlier Daniel met Carla at a charity gala in 2014. She wore a black silk dress. Her laugh was like wind chimes. She talked about orphans, faith, lost dreams. Daniel was hooked. Everyone told him she was a blessing. Widowed twice. Strong. Sweet. She made casseroles for the church. She baked cookies for the neighbors. But behind her gentle eyes was something darker. In both her previous marriages, the husbands died early. One in a freak fall. The other in a car fire. But both times, Carla collected money. A lot of money. Nobody talked about it. She always cried at the funerals. Daniel married her a year later. Spring of 2015. Yellow tulips. White doves. A choir. But something odd happened that day. Carla refused to let Daniel's sister give a speech. She insisted on handling the wedding accounts herself. And after the honeymoon, she asked him to sign new paperwork. Just something for emergencies, she said sweetly. If anything ever happens to me, or you. It was a life insurance policy. $500,000. Daniel's mother, Elena, never liked Carla. She said she saw her once, screaming at Daniel in the garage. She said her eyes changed. That woman has something in her, she whispered. Something evil. But Daniel didn't listen. Love had blinded him. Until his health started to fail. It started small. He felt dizzy after dinner. Had blurry vision after drinking his morning coffee. Once, he woke up on the floor, not knowing how he got there. Carla told the doctor it was stress. She told Daniel to rest more. But one day, Daniel's friend from work, Sam, visited unannounced. Carla seemed angry he was there. Sam saw Daniel's cup of tea left on the counter. It had a strange blue tint. He took a photo. quietly, then made an anonymous tip. Police opened an investigation. One night, Daniel found a small bottle tucked in Carla's sock drawer. It was labeled Winter Fresh, but the liquid inside wasn't mouthwash. He Googled the ingredients. Ethylene glycol, the same chemical found in antifreeze. Daniel packed a bag and tried to leave, but Carla had locked the garage. She stood by the door, smiling. "Come. Where are you going, love?" she whispered. "You look pale. Let me make you some tea." Daniel faked a smile. He took her tea, pretended to sip. Then, when she turned, he ran straight to the hospital. His final word before collapsing? "Wife. This is a real story. Every fact you hear is public. You can check it yourself. If real-life mysteries leave you breathless, subscribe now to an unbelievable true story. Because the next truth we uncover might hit even closer to home." October 14, 2017, 4:23 a.m., Dallas General Hospital. Daniel Reyes was in a coma. Machines kept his heart pumping. Tubes down his throat, beeping in the silence. A detective stood by his bedside. He turned to Daniel's mother, Elena, and asked quietly, "Do you think your son was poisoned? On purpose?" She didn't cry. She just nodded. "By his wife," she whispered. And that's when the story began to unspool. Detective Marcus Fielding pulled Carla Reyes's records. What he found was chilling. Husband 1, Marcus Green, age 39. Died in 2009 from a fall down the stairs. No witnesses. Carla was the only one home. Husband 2, Patrick Ellis, age 48. Died in 2012 in a garage fire. Cause, electrical malfunction. But he had recently changed his will to make Carla the sole beneficiary. Carla received over $850,000 in life insurance. She moved towns after each death. And now here she was, with husband number 3 in a coma. Toxicology confirmed it. Daniel's blood had high levels of ethylene glycol. Police returned to the Reyes home. In the pantry, behind cans of soup, they found a bottle with no label, half empty, smelling faintly sweet. In the garage, they found a jug of antifreeze, unopened. But in the bathroom, they found a second bottle of the same blue liquid, inside a mouthwash container. It was the same brand Daniel had sipped every night before bed. Winter Fresh. Only, it wasn't mint. Detectives pulled Carla in for questioning. She smiled, laughed, called it all a mistake. "Daniel's dramatic," she said. "He's always thinking he is dying." But while she was in the room, her phone buzzed. It was a voicemail, left by mistake. She had pocket dialed her best friend Melanie just hours earlier. The audio was disturbing. Click. Then Carla's voice, whispering to herself. "It's almost over. Just one more dose tonight. He'll sleep. He'll sleep forever." The room went silent. Detectives stared. Carla's hands trembled. That same day, they searched her car. Under the passenger seat, a burner phone. On it were deleted texts like, "How long till it looks like organ failure? Can I freeze the tea to keep it fresh? Half a bottle gone. He's still breathing." Carla was arrested. Charged with attempted murder. insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit homicide. 2 days later, Daniel opened his eyes. The first face he saw? His mother, crying. He tried to speak, but couldn't. He mouthed, "Did she do it?" Elena nodded. Daniel closed his eyes. One tear slid down his cheek. The woman he loved had tried to kill him, slowly, painfully, for money. Doctors revealed Daniel had kidney damage, but he would survive. Barely. They pumped his stomach, ran dialysis for hours, and administered an antidote. The process was painful. He couldn't eat solids for 2 weeks. But each breath he took was a breath she hadn't stolen. News spread fast. Black Widow wife arrested in poison plot, third husband survives what others didn't. Reporters crowded the hospital. Neighbors cried on camera. The church revoked Carla's membership. Everyone kept asking the same question. How did she get away with this for so long? One neighbor stepped forward. An older woman named Doris McCain. She told police, "I saw Carla late at night in her backyard. She was digging under the lemon tree." Police returned. They dug where Doris pointed. They found something wrapped in plastic. It wasn't a body. It was a leather-bound journal. Inside, Carla's handwriting. And on the first page, "To my 3 loves. May you forgive me when we meet again." October 20, 2017, Dallas Police Department, Evidence Room. Detective Marcus Fielding sat with gloves on. He opened the leather-bound journal they found buried beneath the lemon tree. Each page was handwritten. Neat. Careful. Like someone trying to be remembered, or forgiven. The first sentence chilled his blood. "They all loved me. But love doesn't last forever. Money does." Carla's entries began in 2007. Entry 1, August 3, 2007. Marcus snores too loud. I wish he'd stop breathing in his sleep. I swear I could help him. She wrote about learning how to use ethylene glycol from a dark web forum. How she mixed it with wine, then claimed her husband had a stroke. He died 2 weeks later. No one asked questions. Entry 14, March 2012. Patrick changed his insurance policy. I smiled so hard my cheeks hurt. $400,000 in my name. She noted how she set a small fire in the garage, while Patrick slept. He never woke up. "No more begging me for kids," she wrote. "No more saying I was too cold. Cold is what keeps you alive." Then came the pages about Daniel Reyes. Entry 28, May 4, 2016. He's kind. Too kind. He brought me flowers today. Shame he's the one I'll feel guilty about. But soon, even Daniel's kindness seemed to disgust her. He cries during movies. He wants forever. Forever is a fairy tale. I want peace. And enough money to never feel trapped again. She planned the poisoning like a meal prep. Monday, mint tea. Tuesday, protein shake. Wednesday, evening wine. Thursday, mix in mouthwash. Friday, rest. She even tracked symptoms. Day 7, vomiting, blurry eyes. Day 12, hallucinations. Day 15, perfect. He's fading. Entry 34, October 10, 2017. He's weak. Won't wake up. I think tonight might be it. If they question me, I'll smile. I've smiled through worse. 3 husbands. 3 funerals. 3 chances to start over. Then, underlined 3 times. This one might come back. Detectives shivered. Police questioned Carla's best friend, Melanie Harris. At first, she denied knowing anything. Then they showed her the burner phone messages. Melanie's face changed. She told them something that no one expected. Carla said once she wanted to fake her own death. She was looking up identity change services. She asked me if I'd help her disappear. A second passport was found hidden in a photo album. Fake name, Diana Mitchell. Photo, Carla with darker hair and glasses. She had booked a one-way flight to Argentina, just 4 days after Daniel was hospitalized. If he had died on schedule, she would have vanished. November 2018, Dallas County Courthouse. Carla Reyes stood in court. Her face was calm. Daniel sat in the front row, thin, pale, but alive. The prosecutor opened. This woman didn't snap. She planned. She practiced. She perfected poison. And she watched the man who loved her die, slowly, while she smiled. Carla's defense shocked everyone. They claimed she was a victim of trauma, blaming her detachment on an abusive childhood. But the evidence was overwhelming. Journal, tapes, texts, chemicals, and Daniel's own tearful testimony. I trusted her with my life. She treated me like a piggy bank, to be emptied. After 5 hours of deliberation, the jury returned guilty. Attempted murder, insurance fraud, conspiracy. Carla was sentenced to 95 years in prison. As they took Carla away, she whispered to Daniel, "You always were too strong." He didn't reply. He just watched her disappear behind steel doors. But what came next was something no one could have predicted. A murder-for-hire plot from inside prison. January 2019, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Mountain View Unit, Women's Prison. The concrete walls echoed with routine. Breakfast trays. Roll call. Silence. But one cell, cell 42B, held more than a prisoner. It held a planner. A woman whose mind was still sharp, still dangerous. Carla Reyes wasn't done. Not by a long shot. Daniel Reyes had started rebuilding his life. New home. New number. New identity through a state program for high-risk victims. But on March 3, 2019, a letter arrived. There was no return address. Just 3 words written in red ink. "You're not safe." Inside was a newspaper clipping. It was a wedding announcement. Daniel and his new fiancée, Elena Torres, scrawled across it in the same red ink. "She won't outlive me." Texas Rangers got involved. They traced the ink to a pen brand sold only in the prison commissary. The envelope had traces of adhesive Carla often used, peppermint oil. She was secretly sending coded letters to a man in another unit, Deshaun Hill, an inmate with a violent record. Detectives intercepted a message. "He lives near the lake. Her name is Elena. $10,000 when it's done." It was a murder-for-hire deal. In exchange for cash stashed with a third party, Karla offered freedom, one clean kill. The plan? Deshawn had a cousin on the outside. He'd be paid to make it look like an accident. Texas authorities staged a trap. They used undercover agents to pose as hitmen. Wearing wires, they made contact with the cousin. He confirmed everything. "Lady in the pen wants this done fast," says the guy already cheated death once. The cousin even had photos of Daniel's new house, proving surveillance had begun. Confronted with the evidence, Karla showed no fear. She leaned forward and whispered, "He took everything I built. You think I'm scared of losing now?" She was sentenced again. This time, life without parole. But her chilling lack of remorse stunned the courtroom. June 15, 2020, Fort Worth, Texas. Daniel and Elena married in a private ceremony under heavy police protection. Only 10 guests. No press. No photos on social media. The only sound that day louder than Elena's vows was the sound of silence that followed them. Daniel still suffers nerve damage. His speech is slower. He has trouble sleeping. But in therapy, he once said, "Every time she smiled at me, I thought it was love. Turns out, it was hunger." Daniel wrote a memoir called Sleeping with Death. All proceeds went to a domestic abuse support network. In his final interview with NBC, "She didn't just poison my body. She poisoned how I trust people. But I'm still here. That has to count for something." Today, Karla Reyes is 51 years old. She spends most of her time in a prison library. Still reading crime novels. Still writing. But no more letters go out. Not since they revoked her mailing rights, permanently. Her cell door slams shut every night at 9 p.m. and on her wall, scratched faintly into the paint, are the words, "3 husbands. 1 survivor." This story is not fiction. Every detail, from the poison to the plot, was verified through court records, public reports, and Daniel's own words. Have you heard this story before? What would you do if the person you loved most tried to erase you? Subscribe now to an unbelievable true story. Because every week, we uncover stories just like this, where truth is stranger than fiction. Tap the next video to keep uncovering real-life horror. One secret at a time.